y'all. I am Hope here at Crafty Hope, and welcome. I am working once again in this junk journal that I have started for Junk Journal January. Junk Journal January is a prompted challenge that comes from Meg Journals here on YouTube, and she's doing it in conjunction with Get Messy. You don't have to be a member of Get Messy to play along. Just find those prompts and get inspired to play, because that's what I've been doing. I have been wanting to incorporate more daily art journaling in my life, and I thought this would be a great way to do it in the new year. So I'm trying to remember what this prompt was. This was layered for day, what is this? Y'all, I don't even know. Day 11, I think. 10. And so as you can see, I've started with collage, and I am layering on top of layering on top of layering all kinds of things. You can see I'm topping it there with all these papers with a little bit that is a tea bag, and then I'm adding a few more things, just layers of lots of paper collage, keeping to what I have found I really like is a monotone palette, so browns and creams and off-whites, but then I wanted to add some color and just a little wash of it, and this is some Dylusions bright turquoise ink spray. And I'm adding as well a little bit of matte medium as well to kind of help spread it out and hopefully seal it, because those Dylusion ink sprays tend to be fairly water soluble and will move around on me. So I wanted to kind of seal it in so it doesn't get on anything else I might add. That was my idea anyway. So that's the main color of this. I layered that on, didn't I? So I will dry that real quick. And then I'm coming back. I felt like I needed a pop of white. So this is some more Dylusion spray in white, or I think it may be called something else. I'll put it down below. I was gifted some of this from Nina Fickett as part of our Advent swap this December. I'll link over to that too. I have a whole series of that if you missed it. So that added just a little bit of something else, some dimension to that blue that was there, that turquoise. And I thought I needed some texture. Granted, all of that paper has plenty of texture in it, but I needed some marks or something. So I pulled out, what is that? I believe it is Walnut Stain Distress Oxide, and one of my hand carved stamps. You can see that is just carved on an eraser. It's a round eraser that I just carved a couple sections out of and made this kind of like donut shape. So I'm stamping that all down, and once I get it just in a couple places, I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I am going to do what I love to do with Distress Oxides or anything that's pretty much water soluble, and that's take a wet paintbrush. Now with my stamps, I really, really love blurring the edges of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got a fairly thin brush, and I'm going around and blurring that, and it gives it a really yummy grungy effect, but it also makes like the points that are inside that stamp kind of stand out a bit more. And then you can see I'm going onto the inside of it and pulling that inner circle in. So I'm going to do that for all of these stamps. Blur the outside edge of the outside circle and the inside edge of the inside circle, if that makes any sense, so that the actual ring that's around that has some clarity to it, whereas those other lines don't. It's not important. It was just a little touch. I don't know. I like to have busy hands, so. Then I pulled out, this is, y'all, I don't even know what it's called. It is a Tim Holtz product. It is some kind of tissue that's been printed, and I really like those bold numbers that were on there. So I thought it would be really fun to layer those on there. But before I did that, I wanted to dry my page and come back in. I'm using matte medium fluid. yeah, it's not matte gel, it's fluid matte medium to put it down, because something about that helps the paper portion of tissue paper kind of disappear some. Now with this product in particular, it doesn't disappear entirely, but it does a pretty good job. You can see that the thing, like the cloudy white, disappears just a little bit with it. So I'm going to put it down at first in just a couple spots, and then realize I don't like how blocky that was feeling. So I'll end up layering it kind of from the upper left to the lower right there, kind of making like a slash on it. And see, I'm trying my best to try to get that paper to disappear. It wasn't disappearing as much as I was hoping it would, but it's okay. In the end, it doesn't matter. So this is another layering here. So I'm layering more up, really writing that. I kind of felt with this prompt was almost a gimme, because with most of the mixed media junk journaling stuff I do, everything is layered. So this to me felt like a free like a free for all. Like, okay, just make whatever you want to make, and you can claim it's layered, because yeah, that's just how I work. All right, I think, yeah, I've finished that up a little bit, I believe, and I'll probably try it again, because when I layer things, yeah, I want things to be dry so they don't move around. For the most part, there are sometimes I want it to stay wet as long as possible. So, yeah, no, I decided something there. Oh, that right there in that middle, you could see that like white spot where there wasn't anything, like somehow there wasn't even any of that turquoise there. So I had to take care of that and put something there. And now I'm thinking, and it hit me that I have this baggie of pieces of paper that I have layered and sewn together. It's not all paper. Some of it's paper and fabric and lace and whatever. I just took scraps, layered them up, and put them through my sewing machine. So I grabbed this one because that blue-green paper that was on there matched that turquoise background so perfectly. So I was like, yep, that's the one. So I'm inking the edges of, I think, all the layers of that with some walnut stain distress ink. So, and I'm looking at this, trying to decide what I'm going to do, and I futzed with the shawl. Y'all saw I put it there on the lower right and was like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I moved this in just about every configuration I could think of. I was looking on the back to see if it was blank, if I wanted to sew through it. I think I end up, yeah, I'm gone here for a second because I'm looking. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, okay, let's try this and we'll get to business. So I finally dry it and come in with, this is the Sharpie water-based paint marker. That's what it is. And I'm going to sling the white that I had sprayed on there, kind of blended in a bit. It gave it depth, but it didn't add enough something. So I primed that Sharpie paint pen, and you saw it, just slung it over that whole page to get some splatter. And I love how opaque that is. All right, so these are the Tim Holtz, I believe they're called Photomatic. So they're bigger than the photo strips. You can see there's only two of them on there. They're just slightly bigger than the photo strips, but I thought it would be perfect. I found this lady, and I'm going to trim all of that like off-white outside edge of this photo down. I'm watching this going, I'm trying to remember what I did, because honestly, I'm recording this several days later. Even after editing the video down, it's been several days, so I apologize for my kind of going, I don't know what I'm doing, because I am doing these junk journal pages every day, and every day it's a little different. So I started to ink the edges of that photo as it was, and realized, no, I want it to be a bit scruffier. So I've got this tool. It's a Tim Holtz, I believe it's Tonic, and it's a distressing tool. I will try to link it if I can find it. Once that was distressed enough and kind of ratted up the pages a little, I will come back again with that same walnut stain distress ink on my ink blender. And I really liked tucking her photo right there in the in the layers, kind of show the layers of that. And then another Tim Holtz product I grabbed there is some small talk stickers. This one is oh, what did it say? I'm thinking I've actually got the book here. I'm trying to find it. It says be awesome today. And I don't know if you saw, but I put it back for a second. I was like, no, that's not the one I want. I'm gonna get something else, because I don't know, she felt kind of old-fashioned, and awesome didn't feel quite old-fashioned enough. But I was like, you know what? I feel like that if she was living now today, that might be what this lady says. So I have all of that kind of tacked down where I want it, and I am going to add some stitching. I happen to have, I think it's 3 strands of black embroidery floss. So it's, embroidery floss comes with 6 strands kind of wound together, and you can pull those apart. So this is just 3 of them pulled apart, and I knotted the end, and I'm coming in and making some French knots. Now, I don't think I'm showing it close enough how to do a French knot, but you poke your needle through, you're going to wrap your thread a couple times around your needle, 1 to how many ever loops you want. The more loops you put around it, the bigger your French knot will be. So once you get those wrapped, you're going to reinsert your needle. Watch, I'll do my wrap, and then I'm going to reinsert my needle, but just slightly off from where the original hole was. And you're going to kind of try to hold everything together. If you'll watch when I do it, when I wrap it, I'll insert it, and then I pull that end there. I don't know if you can see it, and I'm holding it until I get that pulled all the way through. So I'm going to make 5 of these French knots. Can you see there? I'm holding that thread until I get it through. And then I'm going to turn it over and make a knot back here like so. And call that good. I will trim it, and then I believe I'm going to use Fabri-Tac to glue this down. My Fabri-Tac nozzle is so clogged up, y'all, so this took me a bit to try to get it all out. Once I get it out, I'm going to stick that down, and if I am not mistaken, that is going to be it for this page. We'll see. I could be wrong, but I really like this. I'm loving these prompts from Meg Journals, and I hope you're playing along. If you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to ask. That bottom left corner was bothering me because it had so much darkness, so I added another piece of that Tim Holtz tissue. Yep, I knew there was something else. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will be back with more of these junk journal pages. Thanks for watching. Bye.